If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I post a new Tom Brady video every day.
How confident are you in the Bucs still? Like, do they make the Super Bowl?
I think they do, and I'm still confident in the Bucs. But
I did pick them to go to the Super Bowl, and the reason I picked them was that man. I picked him because Brady. And for a couple of reasons, with all due respect to Chris Godwin, who's a phenomenal player, and you hate to see his season go down, but this team is built to withstand his injury.
Also, Broussard, Tampa's injuries should have Bucs fans feeling blank.
They should look at it as glass half full, Jenna. Glass half full.
So here's the interesting thing. This whole Super Bowl run or rerun was predicated on the all 22. All 22 of these guys coming back. Some guys took less money to come back. So that's why we felt confident in the Bucs. Them missing guys right now, even if they get them back, you feel like, I don't know, do they have enough? But then I sit back and is it crazy to me that the fact that they have Tom Brady, the fact that they're the defending Super Bowl champions, that kind of gives me peace of mind. The rest of the NFC, like the Packers, okay, that's the team that I think that's the real issue for the Bucs. Other than that, I still feel pretty good about the Bucs.
It's easy to have confidence in Tom Brady, obviously.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is right now you can sit here and say, oh, there's no way the Bucs can make it back to the Super Bowl. They took the long route last year. They didn't win the division last year. And I know last year is last year. I know they're not the same team as last year. But as long as 12 is there, and he's healthy, and if that offensive line can protect him against every defensive line not named the New Orleans Saints defensive line, I refuse to count out the Bucs in the NFC. They're not in trouble. You know, everything's right there for them still.
Obviously, as you just pointed out, there are still 3 games to go for both of them. This is undone. This is unfinished business. Can Tom climb out of this hole, this narrative hole that he's in?
Speaking of those seeds, the number 1 seed's not out of the question. They remain in schedule. They got the Panthers twice and the Jets. The Panthers head coach and quarterback, my guy, Cam Newton, they're not on the same page. So much of the head coach is throwing the quarterback under the bus every chance he gets. And then they got the Jets, everybody's homecoming game, everybody's get-right game these days, okay? So they could still potentially win out. And who knows what seed they could end up with, maybe even number 1 seed if Green Bay should slip up.
Here's the thing and why you should look at it as glass half full. Antonio Brown, whatever you may think of him, he can replace Chris Godwin. Antonio Brown, when at the peak of his powers, is better than Chris Godwin, as good as Godwin is. So you got that. Mike Evans is week to week with his hamstring. So even if he doesn't come back this week, he should be back definitely for the playoffs and hopefully close to full strength. Leonard Fournette. I love Leonard Fournette. But Ronald Jones can replace. Ronald Jones was starting over Fournette last year and looked good in this game on Sunday when Fournette was out. You saw how hard Ronald Jones ran. And Gio Bernard should be back for the playoffs as well.
Yes.
Little pesky catch receiver out of the backfield. Yes. And then Levante David could be back for the playoffs as well. So they got Carolina twice. Carolina's lost his last 4 games, and Cam Newton's running on fumes. And the Jets. Yeah. So at the very least, they should go 2-1, and if not 3-0. Still have a shot at the 1 seed, Nick. So they got time to get healthy and get right. Glass half full.
The reason why, there's a number of reasons why I don't think the Bucs are in trouble at all. First and foremost, they're done playing the Saints in the regular season. So there's that. Okay, that particular form of kryptonite, they can turn the page on that. Now, if they see them in the postseason, I might be inclined to be a little worried, but they beat them last year in the postseason, despite being owned by the Saints in the regular season. So, you know, they say the postseason is a different animal. Maybe that bodes well for the Saints, for the Bucs if they match up with the Saints.
Fortunately, they still have Rob Gronkowski, and I think just based on the chemistry that those 2 guys have from all of their shared reps together, not just in Tampa Bay, obviously, but in New England, that kind of helps out the process.
What did you think when you heard that you got 3 offensive linemen that made the Pro Bowl this year?
Yeah, that's a great there's 5 great linemen we have that all play, and 3 of those guys got selected. They're really well coached. You know, Goody and Joe and AQ do a great job of coaching Ryan and Allie and Tristan. Alex and Donnie, I mean, are both phenomenal players. So they've been the strength of our team all season. I love playing with those guys. They take a lot of pride in what they do. And, you know, everyone loves that they got the recognition because they deserve it. And at the same time, they want to go earn it and, you know, make sure that they're playing their best football this time of year.
Allow me to say that if I were trying to explain Tom Brady to somebody who did not get him, who knew nothing about him, the quintessential Tom Brady, the essence of Tom Brady was in that moment that he ran to Dennis Allen and yelled what he yelled. And I've told you from the start, I'm not saying he's a great role model. I'm just saying he has a rage to win that often goes completely over the edge into what I call him, Psycho Tom. Okay. That was the epitome of Psycho Tom. He lost it, man. Mm-hmm. He ran over. If you know, remember Honey Badger in the Super Bowl? He went after him. He was screaming at him, lost control for a moment at Honey Badger, and then went right back at him and threw a touchdown to Antonio Brown.
Well, see, that I told you Antonio Brown was never going anywhere. There was never a question. Yeah. Like, Bruce Arians could act publicly as though he was going to hold Antonio Brown accountable for, you know, forging his vaccination status. Antonio Brown was never going anywhere, and last night was the reason why. If memory serves, the Bucs signed Antonio Brown when wide receiver was not an obvious area of need, but they signed him as depth and as insurance because Evans and Godwin had been nicked up in the past. And for that matter, you know, Tom Brady loves him. But as a football player,
anything else?
You cannot deny he can still play, which is why he's still on the team. Which is why I told you they wasn't letting him go, because A, they needed him, and B, somebody else would have scooped him up with the quickness.
Come on, who I got? The best at the most important position, Tom Brady. That's who's going to win. I don't know what you just did in theatrics or for television, but there's no way Cooper Kupp is going to win the MVP. Here's the thing. When's the last time a receiver ever won MVP? You haven't. And Cooper Kupp is going to be the first one to do it?
He screamed, "Go F yourself." Tom Brady did that? Yep. That's who I always said that he was. But because there is so much Brady hate ready to spill, so much pent up Brady hate out there, and I experience a lot of it across the table every day here on Undisputed, pent up, ready to spill because he has shut everybody's mouth up to that point. And at that point, it spilled. And I believe that most of the media, either because of Brady hate or Brady burnout, was just ready for Tom Brady to be out of everybody's hair. And that was the excuse that everybody needed.
I don't know what Leveon Bell's got left in the tank, but we're going to find out because they need him. He's not going to be a guy that they bring along slowly. I think he gets thrust into it. The moment he shows he's ready to go, he's gone.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why they signed him to the 53-man roster and not just to the practice squad where it's like, oh, well, will you be able to play? Will you not be able to play? No, they need him right now. So, I mean, you go back to just a few years ago, and he and Antonio Brown were two of the most productive players on offense in the NFL. I mean, you think about that duo, right? You had the Killer Bees, I think they called them, with Bell and Brown in Pittsburgh. They were always going for a lot of yards. They're always scoring a lot of touchdowns.
I mean, I can play as many plays as they need me to. I think I'm in, great shape. I haven't been playing football games, but just my workout regimen and my diet and things I have been doing over the course of this whole year, this is literally the best physical form I've ever been in. So I'm excited. Wherever the coach asks me to do, I'm going to go out there and do it. I'm excited. I'm ready. I feel good, and I'm just ready to go play football.
When you have somebody like Lev Bell who's got that experience and can come in and is excited to play with Tom Brady and his old teammate in Antonio Brown, then who knows what it's going to turn into. It's at least something that makes sense, right? It's not just like, oh, well, we're going to go out and get a name. Like, they need this guy and they need his skill set.
That's it for this video. I post a new Tom Brady video every day, so please like and subscribe. That way you'll always have a new Tom Brady video to watch every single day. Thanks for watching.